بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمنا بنور الفهم وافتح علينا بمعرفة العلم وحسن أخلاقنا بالحلم واجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. Inshallah, this is lesson number 10 in this series of lessons in which our objective is to provide a guide to a student who wishes to pursue serious studies in the school of Imam Shafii rahimahullah ta'ala. We have been talking in the previous lessons about various issues pertaining to the school of Imam Shafii. We started out this series with talking about some of the unique features of the Shafi'i school. Then after that we spoke about the life of the founder of the school, Imam Shafii rahimahullah ta'ala. After which we took a look at the development of the school after the Imam all the way until the 14th century Hijri, looking at some of the major scholars that have been produced by this school over the time, over the centuries, and also some of the most important works that those scholars are known for. After that we talked about what's sometimes referred to as the golden chain of the Shafi'i school, in particular, or in other words, the chain of scholars that start with Imam al-Shafi'i, and then Imam al-Muzani, and then Imam al-Haramain, Imam al-Juwayni, after which we talked about Imam al-Ghazali, Imam al-Rafi'i, and Imam al-Nawawi rahimahumullah ta'ala ajma'in. We talked about some of their major works and the role that they played in the development of the Shafi'i school. And what remains after this is we would like to talk about Imam al-Nawawi's book Minhaj al-Talibin, as well as read from the introduction of the book itself, in which Imam al-Nawawi talks about some of the most important terminologies that he uses in this book as well as his other books, and the same terminologies were used by scholars who came after him. So we're going to do that insha'Allah. And I had said that at the end I would like to talk about the traditional curriculum of a Shafi'i student. And I decided that I would talk about this before actually I talk about the book Minhaj al-Talibin. So I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about the curriculum, the traditional curriculum of a Shafi'i student, and after this we will move on to Minhaj al-Talibin, and we will end the series insha'Allah by reading the introduction of Minhaj al-Talibin. So I'm changing the format from what I had initially mentioned at the beginning of the series, because I feel this would be more appropriate. So at this time now I would like to talk about, as I said, the traditional curriculum of a Shafi'i student. And what I mean by that is traditionally in the lands of Muslims, in Egypt, in Sham, in Yemen, in Hijaz, in Iraq, in Khurasan, in various parts of the Muslim world, traditionally the various sciences, the Islamic sciences, have been taught with an approach of what's called as-sullam at-tadarruji fi ad-dirasa, meaning a gradual approach to learning the Islamic sciences, where the student generally starts out with a basic matan, a basic treatise in that science, masters that treatise at the hand of a sheikh or a teacher, and then moves on to a more advanced matan, more advanced treatise in the same science, finishes that, masters that, and then moves on to a third or fourth or fifth treatise, until finally he has finished the curriculum, which consists of a number of such mutun or short treatises and he is then considered to have finished the curriculum of that particular Islamic science. And the Shafi'i school is no different. Traditionally, students were required to start with a basic matan, which they were expected to master at the hand of a teacher, and then move on to the next matan, which would normally be more advanced, more detailed than the previous matan, and then move on to the third and the fourth, and so on. Now, different lands within the Islamic world have traditionally held somewhat varying curricula, even within the same Islamic science. So I would like today to talk about the traditional Shafi'i curriculum in Sham as well as in Yemen, because these are the two places, in addition to Egypt, where I have myself or whose scholars I myself have benefited from. Sham, Yemen, and of course Egypt. So I'd like to talk about first the curriculum that is taught in Yemen. Until today, this is the curriculum that is being taught to Shafi'i students, and it is a traditional curriculum that they have been following for quite some time. And the Yemeni curriculum consists of 10 books. So they study a series of 10 books, and they study them in this order. Number one, they start out with a book called Ar-Risala Al-Jami'a. Ar-Risala Al-Jami'a, which is written by Sheikh Ahmad ibn Zayn ibn Alawi al-Habashi. Who died in the year 1144 Hijrah. This is the first matan that is studied. After this comes the second matan, which is called Safinatun Najah. Safinatun Najah, which is also a short matan written by Sheikh Salim ibn Samir al-Hadrami. Sheikh Salim ibn Samir al-Hadrami, who passed away in late 13th century Hijri. After this, book number 3, and Safinatun Najah, by the way, has a famous commentary on it called Nailur Raja. And both Safinatun Najah as well as Nailur Raja have been printed by Darul Minhaj in Jeddah. So then after this book, they generally study Al-Mukhtasar Al-Latif. Al-Mukhtasar Al-Latif, which is written by Sheikh Abdullah ibn Abdul Rahman Bafadl Al-Hadrami, or Sheikh Bafadl Al-Hadrami, who died in the year 918 Hijri. So he's earlier, in early 10th century. Then book number 4 is called Masail al-Ta'lim, or more popularly known as Al-Muqaddimah Al-Hadramiyya, which is written by the same author as the previous book, Al-Muqaddimatul Hadramiyya. And this book is a book that has a number of commentaries. One of the most popular or most famous commentaries of this book is by Ibn Hajar al-Haytami with the name of Al-Manhaj al-Qawim or Al-Minhaj al-Qawim. It's been printed by Darul Minhaj in Jeddah. There's another commentary of this book. Before that, the book Al-Minhaj al-Qawim has a hashia on it by At-Tirmisi, which has been printed recently by Darul Minhaj in 6 big volumes. Then other than Al-Minhaj al-Qawim, there is another famous commentary of Al-Muqaddimat al-Hadramiyya by the name of Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. There is another commentary of Al-Muqaddimat al-Hadramiyya by the name of Bushra al-Karim. Bushra al-Karim by Sheikh Ba'ishin, also a Hadrami scholar, and that is also available from Darul Minhaj Jeddah in 1 volume. There are also other prints for these books. Al-Muqaddimat al-Hadramiyya also has other commentaries that I will not get into at this time. Then book number 5, but those commentaries are usually used as reference materials. What is studied in the curriculum at the hand of a sheikh are these books, the mutun themselves. The shuruh or the commentaries are usually used by the student as well as a teacher for reference. The 5th book is Matan Abi Shuja'. Written by Qadi Abu Shuja', who died in 488 Hijri. This book is also called Ghayatul Ikhtisar. That's actually its more proper name, but it's generally referred to as Matan Abi Shuja'. It also has another name called At-Taqrib. So sometimes it's also called Matnul Ghayati wa Taqrib. And this is also another book that has a number of commentaries written on it. One of the more famous commentaries is by Ibn Qasim al-Ghazi, which then has a hashia by Sheikh Ibrahim al-Bajuri or Sheikh Ibrahim al-Bayjuri, which we referred to earlier when we were talking about the development of the Shafii school, and we talked about Sheikh al-Bajuri. We said that this is one of his most famous works in Shafii fiqh, his hashia on Ibn Qasim al-Ghazi, which is a sharh or a commentary of Matan Abi Shuja'. There are also other commentaries of Matan Abi Shuja', but that's the more famous one, and it is often taught right here in Jami al-Azhar as well. Ibn Qasim al-Ghazi's sharh, as well as the hashia of Sheikh al-Bajuri, rahimahullah ta'ala. Then after this, number 6 is Al-Yaqut al-Nafis. Al-Yaqut al-Nafis by Sheikh Ahmad ibn Umar al-Shatiri. Who died in 1361, so he's much more recent. Sheikh Ahmad ibn Umar al-Shatiri, rahimahullah ta'ala, and this also has a sharh on it called Sharh al-Yaqut al-Nafis, and both of those have been published by Darul Minhaj as well. Matan Abi Shuja' also has a number of prints available. After this, number 7 is Az-Zubad. Az-Zubad, which is a poem written by Sheikh Ahmad ibn Arsalan, Sheikh Ahmad ibn Arsalan or Sheikh Ahmad ibn Raslan, who died in 844 Hijri. And this also has a number of commentaries on it, one of the more famous ones by Sheikh al-Ramli. After this, the book that is taught is Umdatus Salik. Umdatus Salik wa Uddatun Nasik by Ahmad ibn Naqib Ahmad ibn Naqib al-Misri, Ahmad ibn Naqib al-Misri, who died in 769 Hijri. And this book has a couple of different commentaries. One of them is Anwarul Masalik by Al-Ghamrawi. Another one is Faydul Ilahi al-Malik by Sheikh Umar Barakat. Another more recent one by Sheikh Mustafa Deeb al-Bugha, Hafizahullah, the Syrian scholar, called Tanweerul Masalik. This book has also been translated into English by Sheikh Nuh Hamim Keller with the title of Reliance of the Traveler, published by Amana Publications. Then after this, book number 9 that is generally taught is Fathul Mu'in. Fathul Mu'in by Sheikh Zainuddin al-Mallibari from Mallibar, which is a province in southern India. And he died in 987 Hijri. And Fathul Mu'in is actually a commentary of another book called Qurratul Ain. And then there is a hashiyah on Fathul Mu'in called I'anatul Talibin. I'anatul Talibin by Ad-Dimyati. Which was just recently published in 4 volumes by Darus Salam. But Fathul Mu'in is the 9th text in this series that is taught in Yemen. And the last book is Minhajul Talibin, or Al-Minhaj. Minhajul Talibin by Imam An-Nawawi, rahimahullah ta'ala, who died in 676 Hijri. So as you can see, Minhajul Talibin is the last book that is taught in this Yemeni series of the Yemeni Shafi'i curriculum. So it starts with a very basic matan, which barely has all the ibadat in it, Ar-Risalatul Jami'ah, and ends with Al-Minhaj, which is a full, complete book of fiqh containing all the chapters of fiqh and deals with many more details compared to the books that are studied previously. So now let's talk about the Syrian curriculum. So that was the Yemeni curriculum, which more particularly is taught in Hadramaut or Tarim. Now, the Shami curriculum or the Syrian curriculum consists of fewer books compared to the Yemeni curriculum. The Syrian curriculum has 4 books. The first book that is taught is Matan Abi Shuja'. This is the first book that is generally taught. The second book is Fathul Mu'in. I'm sorry, that's not the second book. That's the third book. The second book is Umdatus Salik. Umdatus Salik, followed by Fathul Mu'in. And finally, the series ends with Minhajul Talibin. Okay, so it's a 4-book series that is generally taught by the shuyukh of Sham. As you can see, the books are the same books that appear in the Yemeni curriculum as well, but a lot of the other books are removed from this curriculum, and the approach is a little bit more expedite compared to the approach in Hadramaut or Yemen. So that is the series of books. Those are the 2 series of books that are taught in Yemen and in Syria respectively. And I think this is a good place to stop for this lesson. So we'll stop here, and then next time we will start talking about the last book in those series, Minhaj al-Talibin by Imam an-Nawawi rahimahullah, after which we will conclude the series by reading the introduction of that book. وصلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
ووجههم عند مولى الفضل مقبول. قوم إلى الله قد شدت عزائمهم، وحبلهم بحبال الله موصول. قوم على الملة السمحاء قد فطروا، وشأنهم مع كتاب الله من قولوا. أعطاهم الله ما شاءوا وأكرمهم، كذاك قال الذي وفاه جبريل. يا ربنا خذ بنا قلبا لساحتهم، لنستريح ويحمى القال والقيل. العلماء لهم جاه ومنزلة، ووجههم عند مولى الفضل مقبول.